Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about the best-selling cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, under $5. So that's why we call it a penny stock market watch, because penny stocks are stocks that are $5 or less, and Yu-Gi-Oh is very, very similar. Now, obviously, Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't go as high as some stocks. I know Tesla's like $1,000, right? There's no such thing as $1,000 Yu-Gi-Oh card. Well, actually, there is. That's pretty crazy. But we're not looking at any of those. We're just looking at the $5 and under cards, cards that look like they might have extreme value going later on. And these first six here are just such, if I could just screenshot, just only talk about these, that would be perfect. I mean, first off, you have Side Frame Gear Gamma. Obviously, the card's getting the reprint in the El Dorado. That's probably, because this is the rare version from Toon Chaos. The El Dorado reprint will probably, depending on the rarity, end up being more expensive, honestly, than this version. But I could see all versions of Gamma ending up above the $5 mark. We see Harpy's Featherstorm slipping its way into the meta because of its synergy with Lyricist, however you say it, it's Lyricist. And the reason why we see Lyricist popping its way up into the meta is because of Tri Brigade, right? So these three cards here are all being ran kind of in the same best version of Tri Brigade. The best version of Tri Brigade is Lyricist right now. And these cards have a lot to do with it, so I'm not going to spend too much time with that or this card as well. This is the first card I actually wanted to talk about. So this card has been kind of fluttering around back and forth for a while. First verified sell selling it at $3. But let's take a look real quick at the sales history. And if you look, it's actually kind of been all over the board. I mean, just looking at this right here, let's just look at yesterday's sales or today's sales actually so far. $3.09, $4.95, $4.95, $5.95, $3.04, $3.08, $4.95. So we see that some players are willing to pay extra if they get more copies, right? So all of the cards that have been selling for $3 are the ones with only one quantity, right? So if you're able to get a lot, you could easily flip this card now. And what I mean by that is, let's take a look at all the ones. So these are all of these have one quantity, one still. This is the first two. So this is the first two. So the first person that has multiple quantities only has two, and they're selling it for $4. Right? Now if we go to the first verified seller with high quantities, this person's selling it at $5.69. So you can literally buy this card. You can literally buy this first page here, right? And there are sometimes, I'm going to be honest, when I'm doing this, where I end up buying some of the cards myself. But I'm not going to obviously buy all of these. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 results, obviously, per page. And so, well, the bottom one's about $4. So we're looking at about 50 bucks to buy out this whole first page and then flip it, sell them all for $5 each. Um, and and so, well, a little bit over $5 each, maybe like 5.50 each, and now we can make the profits there, and that's immediately. And this set just came out, right? So the Burst of Destiny just came out. So this was kind of supposed. I think the way Konami printed this card, it was supposed to be one of the sort of like bad secret rares, but I think it's slowly because it's such a generic card. Like if you don't know what this card does, if you don't know why this card has been sort of gaining traction, it's because it says you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon one water monster from your hand. If a face-up water monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this card. Special summon an Ice Jade monster from your hand, except or from your graveyard, except itself. Right? So it's really that first effect that's got a lot of people's eyebrows raised, right? Because a lot of water-based archetypes either want to be discarded to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect, or they just want to be in the graveyard, right? So Ice Jade Tremor, 1500 attack body's not the best, but a free level 5 monster. And there's actually an archetype that likes that too. There's a water archetype that likes that too. So this card, just from playing perspective, is really good, and it's not going to take very long before this is no longer featured on the penny stock market watch because it's no longer a $5 card. The next card I want to talk about, just something to look at, is going to be this card. I know we don't. I know the rule is don't talk about the 2021 tins because there's just so many great penny stocks. I mean, we look at Torn Scales, Dogmatic Punishment, Fractal. All of these cards could be a $5 card at some point soon. But the reason why I keep focusing on Parallel Exceed, and this is similar, I mean, this is $3.66, so it's starting to knock on the door of $4. This person's selling it at $4. And I'm just looking at the ones with multiple quantities. This one's at 4, this one's at 4. So it does take a while before we see it get into 5, but there's a lot of 1. So it's like, well, I only have 1, I only have 2, I only have 3. This person's holding the line here at 20 with $4.50. And the reason why I'm focusing so mightily on this, and honestly, you can make the same argument for this card as well, for Fractal, because Fractal has a similar situation where you could get the ultra rare or the prismatic secret rare. You can get the common, you can get the super, or you can get the prismatic secret rare. Right? So any cards, Dogmatic Punishment, any cards from the 2021 Megatons that got a rarity bump, right? Maybe the OTS version might still end up being more expensive, but right now it's already not. Just look at that. Just look at the cards that got a rarity bump, not cards that got a good reprint. Not like I think Torn Scales. I don't think this was a rarity bump. You guys, let me see this. I'm gonna correct myself here in a second if I'm wrong. No, it did not. I thought. Okay, so it has a secret version. I don't see Torn Scales taking off, obviously, right? But like Dogmatic Punishment, Fractal, Parallel Exceed, the reason why these 3 cards are here is because they're rarity bumps. Now, the reason why this card is here was because it was like a 25, $30 card before the reprint. That's why that card's been bought out so much, right? So the next card I do want to talk about, just a card to keep in mind, just cards to look at, obviously. This one's going to be interesting right here, is the Golden Lord, right? Um, so right now, I did get the reprint in El Dorado. So that's something to keep in mind. But this card slipped under the $5 mark, the maximum gold version of this card. And okay, I know I just looked at the first few listings. I would venture to say it's going to be the first or second page where we already see this card start to jump above $5, right? And I guess I could be wrong on that, but we're already seeing $4 plus shipping. You can get the free, shipping of deals over $5. And as we slip on here, this is very okay. So I was wrong. I was wrong. It was $4.99, right? But you still understand what I'm trying to say. And obviously, these people are holding the line here, and it's definitely possible that oh, these are all just ones. It's definitely possible that the reprint from El Dorado will bring this version value down, right? But because of the new monster released in Burst of Destiny, all of a sudden Stun has gotten a lot better. And the best stun deck, at least in my opinion, and from what we've seen from the first couple of weeks of the format, Eldritch is the best stun deck. So if you're looking, and the thing is too about Eldritch, more than Altergeist, like Salamangreat, even Inspector Border stun, those stun archetypes that I was talking about just now, Eldritch is the most splashable. You can put like Eldritch Appliancers. I just had an Appliancer deck profile go up. You can put Eldritch Salamangreat. Like you can put Eldritch Invoked, Eldritch Zoo. Like there's so many different Eldritch decks out there. And it's because you don't need that big of an Eldritch package to be effective with Eldritch. So this version of the Golden Lord, something to keep an eye out on, keep your eye peeled. Because here's what's probably gonna happen. The El Dorado one's gonna come out. Everybody's gonna have their hands on that one. Nobody's gonna want to have this one. This one's gonna be sitting for a bit. And the El Dorado one will start to venture out of circulation. We'll be on to our, Ghosts of the Past, 2022. We'll be on the structure deck. It'll be about 5-6 months from now. And all of a sudden, Eldritch will still be floating around in the meta because it's not going to get on the ban list. And this card that you remember seeing had a market price of $4 on November 14th, 2021 is going to be like a $5-6 card, right? That's just what we see a lot of times what happens with cards like that, right? So it's just something to keep an eye out for, something to look at here. Now, this one's interesting because keep in mind, I had someone ask, what about a card like Cupid Volley or Satellarknight Deneb? The way I decide what cards to talk about is I literally go the Yu-Gi-Oh market price $5 and below, and I just go to best selling, right? And then when I look at the best selling, I try to figure out what cards are here on purpose. Like, Rocket Caliber. I don't know what this card is doing here. I guess maybe I should look at this card. See, maybe it's got a crazy effect that I'm not sure of. You can special summon this card. Two zone, a dark monster, points to, you go to special summon once per turn. You choose this card, special summon dark dragon or machine from your hand, except itself. And it's a dragon tuner, and it's a rocket card, so it's another rocket that Tracer can summon out. I guess. The card I want to talk about is going to have to be Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. The reason why I'm just actually going to look at all versions now. Obviously, the alties are $155. The secret rare, the original secret rare is $40. But after that, we jump down and we see $3, $3, $3, $3, $3, $3 everywhere, right? And it's something to keep an eye out for because this one's interesting. This one's different. It's kind of like if you ever like read one of those magazines or the newspapers where there's the two pictures were sitting right next to each other and you got to spot the differences. Like, what's the differences between these seven cards? Like, what do you think is the thing that is going to make? And that's what we're looking at here on the penny stock market watch. Like, what's going to be the thing that brings this over the top? Okay, well, this one's a gold rare. This one's a premium gold rare. This one's an older gold rare. Not a lot of people liked these from the infinite gold rarities, but more people like the maximum gold rarities. This one's from a Megaton. This is an ultra. This is an ultimate ultra. This is also an ultra, but this one's an alternate art. And alternate arts have a tendency sometimes to randomly shoot up in price. And even though there's 8 listings of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, there is only 1 listing of an alternate art. And it's just something to keep an eye out for. Something of niche play, because the reason why Ghost Ogre, in any capacity, is one of the best selling cards under $5 is because it is really good against Sword Soul. It's not really good, but it's pretty good against Sword Soul. Okay, I summon my Sword Soul monster. I go to activate, I go to summon a token, or I go to banish to summon a token, or I go to search, right, with their synchro monster. Okay, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and now you lost your synchro monster. So, Ghost Ogre is something to keep an eye out for, especially the alternate art from Dual Devastator. And Dual Devastator 2, right now, I think that set is sitting at like $40, right? $46. But there's a lot of good value here. So if you can find a way to get it for cheaper than 40, I think that's definitely the move there. Because you got Solemn Strike, Effect Veiler, Ghost Bell, Ghost Ogre, Ash, Super Poly, D-Barrier, DD Crow, a Kaiju called by Anti-Spell, Artifact Lancia, Dweller, Inspector Border, Ghost Reaper is actually seeing some niche play in Floanderies, right? So it's just, if you're able to get this, now obviously if you have to spend the full 45, $50, maybe it doesn't fall into the place there, but this is something to keep an eye out for. But there's a lot. Let me know what you guys think. What cards under $5 are you most interested in right now? Let me know in those comments down below. Make sure you guys click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe, of course, for even more content. But most importantly of all, have a good day.